Hey everyone, I'm Ethan, your super cool professor who is robotic.
Who is, I think famously a little bit robotic. Don't you have some
Android
hardware?
style.
Don't you have some Android style? Don't you have some hardware in the body somewhere?
I actually do not.
Well, we got to change that if
I
you want to be a
got
cyborg.
a dead guy's ACL in me. That's the only thing.
That's augmentation. I'm going to call you some kind of android.
Well,
You're put together by science and duct tape, admittedly.
wouldn't I need like some sort of metal thing?
Neither here nor there. At some point in the future, are going to be biology. Hey, I'm your waterlogged Professor Ricky.
Hey, Professor Ricky.
Yeah.
Why are you waterlogged?
Thank you for teeing me up. Let me hit a double and maybe not a foul ball. But yeah, we had I've been dealing with some water damage and leakage in the place where I reside, and that I did not realize how so severely and quickly can fuck up your shit and your entire day or week, really, because we're having to, it's not even necessarily my place, but I am having to be the liaison for everyone coming to fix it. And what happened was we were getting some plumbing enhancements done. And I think the sudden shift from no water pressure to all water pressure, like a dozen times in 48 hours, like made these 80s generated pipes of 40 plus years old pipes, maybe that had like leaks it was holding back. Nah, these have become stress tests that no one well, frankly, you know what? The experts should have known this. The professionals should have remembered that, hey, if we were to just stress test this a dozen times in 2 days, might break some shit. And it broke it twice. So we're dealing with that. And that's been, real swift kick in the old grundle. I'm not exactly a fan of it. And I don't like having to deal with it, but it is a life. And anyone who's ever had water damage that they've had to deal with, I empathize with you, and I don't even have to deal with all of it. I'm literally dealing with one facet of that.
Yeah, it sounds sucky.
It's a little sucky, but I mean, hopefully all of this stuff is resolved, and we can just be good to go for the future, and I'm okay with that.
G to G, let's do this.
But speaking of the future, today we are on the second half of the current season, so y'all should know by now, if you're regular students, what we're about to go into. But if you don't, we don't necessarily like to review the seasons of past. We like to speculate wildly about the seasons of the future. And today we are going to be running through fall 2022 anime lineup. And boy, howdy, has the community been hype on this season.
Yeah, I mean, the one we just came off of, summer 2022, pretty bad.
It was mid. It was pretty mid.
Pretty low tier in terms of volume of shows, for sure.
Right. And we did, in the Discord, we had a conversation there where someone had brought up, does anyone feel like this season was pretty lacking? And I wanted to beg the question to you the same way I did to that person. Do you feel like that everyone's anticipation for fall 2022, since throughout the year we've been having stacks on stacks of announcements that are slated for that season, kind of made everyone not really care about this one? Was it really as mid as it objectively is middle of the road? Or are we just all waiting for a banger season like fall?
I think not only was it objectively mid, I think for whatever reason, some of the shows that could have been interesting were hidden on high dive for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, so you felt like that maybe
it was just like an inaccessible season at large.
Right.
Like the shows I ended up watching were like straight up harem garbage.
Yeah.
Or obviously the only thing that I think two shows I really enjoyed, which was like Black Summoner, which is sort of out of nowhere, just power fantasy guy, just stupid strong.
Sick, yeah.
And then season 2 of Classroom of the Elites, even though it's definitely not this, it doesn't feel the same as it did the first time
I started it this past weekend to get a gauge on it. There's something missing, maybe the novelty really could carry it only for one season, but
that doesn't feel it. They really threw us in the middle again, and they're just like, yeah, you remember everything, right?
Yeah, they literally came off of as if you could stitch the last scene of the first season and the first scene of the second season, if you stitched them together, they'd be almost down to like the same minute.
Right.
That it just happened. So and they you're right, they didn't give any indication for people who are just like, oh, let's see what this Classroom of the Elite is all about. Nah, they're
Well,
like, you better have fucking watched the first one.
I really liked the first one, and I was like, so who's this again?
Who is this? Yeah, I had to go back and do some
clearly like
character read.
douchebag guy, but what's the problem with him?
Right. I don't know if did you jump on Devil as a Part-Timer Part 2 yet?
I'm almost refused because of Rasmuth or whatever the fuck her name is.
I mean, oh yeah.
I can't do little fucking kids having little kids.
Yeah,
it's just not a thing I can do.
I'm actually enjoying that. I understand your hang up and I respect your hang up, but it is less of one for me. And that's how it be. But there's other ones and I actually started Harem. I gave 3 episodes to Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. Hentai. Just straight up fucking hentai. Just another one of those isekai
I'm
reviewers.
Watching it as well.
Isekai reviewers just slipping in under the radar.
I would also like to say it's just like a way worse version of Redo the Healer.
Yeah.
Like a way worse version.
I don't even, and that's
Maybe
saying
not like
something.
worse as in like, the other one was definitely more sexually violent.
Yeah.
But this one is just like not good.
There's no none of the elements seem to hold up. So there is some legitimacy to this season being pretty lackluster, all things considered.
Doggy water.
Absolute dog water. But we're here to discuss not the past, but the future.
The future.
And
I am
You're gonna go robot again?
I am robot.
He is robot. So here's what we're gonna do. As we do every time, you can follow along on livechart.me, and you can go to the fall 2022 anime section to follow along with us, because we're going to start going top to bottom. And boy howdy, I think I want to focus on the returns.
How many times do you think you can say boy howdy in one episode? Because that's easily 5 or 6 right now.
It's usually 5 or 6. I mean, that's how I got to hit a quota,
right?
But we're going to
sponsored by Boy Howdy.
Who is? Yeah, what company would Boy Howdy be? Like Western wear, like boots and belts.
I think it'd be like that, or like Roy Rogers. That's just like for whatever reason they're. He's like it's like
What is this company? What is this company do?
Fast food company.
Roy Rogers.
Yeah,
I actually don't know. I've never even heard of this. Am I crazy?
No, it's like a northeastern thing.
Maybe I just never approached it.
And probably like a southwestern thing, I would imagine.
So this is just like a fried fast food, right? Boy, howdy, come on down for some fried anything you want.
I've only really had it at like Turnpike turn off rest stations in Pennsylvania.
Suspiciously close to the local Cracker Barrel, like right off the exit kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing right there.
And some value. You know what? Come on down and eat a Boy Howdy. But
there's a Starbucks and a Roy Rogers. Get you some cowboy fries and I don't know, chicken tenders.
A Wrangler large.
Honestly, I feel like there's a Wrangler on the menu.
A Wrangler Deluxe. Yeah. So I think I'd like to focus on, where we think a lot of these shows are going, because we have seen the previous seasons of a lot of these, or are caught up with the manga for some of these, and would kind of like speak to the hype and validate some of the hype that these people in the community have been giving it, because it's been a lot. So we're going to start off with the biggest show I'd say of spring, and that'd be Spy X Family second core. Now, I think it took everyone by storm, but it really kind of comes down to, where do you think this show is going? We talked about it in our Spy X Family episode. You can go and listen to that back in our catalog, but I hope that we get some kind of revealing amongst the family. Like, Lloyd isn't really known to be a spy. Arya is not really known to be a telepath. And, we have everyone else in that show have their own secrets. I want to see those come out in the second core. I don't know anything about the manga.
Yeah, I mean, they alluded to the pup being introduced, so I'm pretty hyped about that. The
genetically altered pup.
Bond.
Bond.
Folger.
What a good... Yeah, the Folgers basically need to come on out and just lay all their cards on the table, because we had talked about how cool it would be if they basically were trained under Lloyd as a Twilight unit, not just a single man thing. It'd be good for his character development. It'd be good for everyone involved. And I would love to see him start to utilize the assets that are right in front of him. I think the introduction of Bond, and then we'll make the full family unit, and then he will basically be able to break down the walls and build them back up as a team rather than just a family. You know, if I get that in this season or even the beginnings of that, this show's going to keep slapping so damn hard. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything was good except for, I mean, Anya being like
Get absolutely
simultaneously very smart and very stupid.
Gets smacked around in school, like
Yeah,
just
just
like
very,
by
like,
the
odd.
system. So I'm hoping, yeah. And I think after where we left out, she got her first Stella. You know, she's on her way to be what her family.
Starlight Anya.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Starlight Anya. Excuse me. She's well on her way to being what her family and I guess this conflict needs her to be. She's weirdly this linchpin of if she can't get her way to be an Imperial scholar, she cannot achieve the overall mission step that is needed. So I think she's been put on that trajectory with a little bit of comedy, but I'd like to see in this season her get her second, third, fourth, fifth, you know.
Well, I think it is funny. Like, we didn't talk about it, I think, when we did the episode, but the actual goal of getting that many Stellas that quick is like unbelievably ridiculous.
Yeah, it's because the father, being a very prominent diplomat, is a recluse, and the only real way to get an audience with him is to find a reasonable way to get into his home. So there has to, and we talked about, I think we did mention that, there has to be a better way to do this, right? There has to be a better way to do this.
Well, there's that, but there's also just like Lloyd had no clue how difficult it was to get stars originally, and so he's like, yeah, sure, that shouldn't be a problem. And then he finds out, oh, she's stupid as shit, and these aren't easy to get. Damn it.
And that's the thing, right? Is that once he learns everyone's strengths, I think their mission goes way more swimmingly, but that is kind of in direct odds with his character arc where
Yeah, they should just assassinate him.
they probably should have been assassinated. You're damn right. Because if he can't join him, he can definitely beat him. Like, he's that much of a talent. Just kind of yeah. Just, you know, cut that tie
yeah,
off.
we're looking forward to it, I think.
Oh yeah. So next, My Hero Academia Season 6. We've been pretty vocal that we've been pretty soft on the boys over in Class 1A and all the gals over in the Hero Academy because they've shown some lackluster content, but there is hope. There is hope that this season could turn all that around. I sound like a broken fucking record because I say this every season, but this one, I actually decided, screw it, is the manga going in the right direction? And I think the answer is yes. They do some really good arcs. I think season 7 is going to be an incredible arc. Incredible.
Because season 7 is not the next one that's coming.
What do you mean? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not this one, not 6, but the next one.
So you think this season,
knowing the manga, knowing that I said it's going to be good, it's going to put everything on that almost final arc trajectory. That's what I'm looking for. And season 6 is going to be the beginnings of a certain war. So we're going to start to see not just the involvement in real world application of the Class 1A students.
I need deaths. I need deaths abound.
And you know what? I think you might get them here.
Let's go.
Because you're not just going to have... We saw the setup for My Villain Academia, the Shigaragi's group over there. And you also had a bit of setup that, you know, things are brewing underneath the surface.
I mean, if Mineta survives this war, I mean, there's no fucking justice.
What do you mean? He's the final boss of the whole thing. He's going to take Deku's spot.
He's actually the mean guy.
Imagine his grape quirk with all for one for all.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He can just launch them out of his head an infinite amount of times. But yeah, I do have genuine high hopes, but I now, like I did not before, have manga knowledge here. And I think, given what I've read and what's yet to be adapted and where it would make sense for this season to end, this one's going to not only set up a huge, interesting, subversive arc for a superhero situation, but it's going to have a lot of moments in its own right. So I think we're here. I think we're finally here of the next major, what I would call non-bullshit arc situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously mid on it until I get, you know, proven incorrect. I think, you know, I've been too hyped for season 4 and 5 just to be, depressed and disappointed. So, I think it might be better just to come into these seasons like moving forward, even since season 3, really, with like a healthy or a healthy dose of like, I guess, apprehensiveness, and be like, yeah, it might suck. So we'll get there eventually, but it might suck.
So I think I'm going to start for some of these returners as we go forward. Give it a weekly or binge rating for these particular shows.
Oh, this is binge.
Yeah, this is binge. Like, you want to wait for at least half of this season. But I certainly
will be watching it weekly.
We'll say binge as a recommendation. Do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly.
But this is going to be one you want to wait for the reviews. You want to wait for mid-season, YouTubers to come out and say like, this is great and here's why. But I will be watching it weekly because I am a shonen schmuck at heart, and of course I'm going to be.
More like because I'm a masochist.
Yeah, I like getting hurt again and again.
Pain is yummy.
Pain hardens me.
Ouchie, yum.
So yeah, definitely binge it, but I don't think it should stay off your radar if you're kind of disillusioned by seasons 4 and 5. Welcome to the club. But I think we're here. I think we're finally in a mode back to some OG MHA.
I will hold my reservations on that.
I do not blame you, my friendo. So, next one.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man.
Why's it gotta be a man? Why couldn't it be a woman?
Because he's a man. Denji's a man, dude.
But why did it have to be a man?
Well, talk to the mangaka. I don't know what you want from me.
It really seemed like that could have been a good opportunity for equality.
Well, he's neither. He's a demon, my dude. He's a
chainsaw.
Demon. He's a man of himself with chainsaws.
Chainsaws don't have any genders.
I mean,
these guys have really fucked this whole thing up.
So this show has been making the community, like just the shonen for sure, but a lot of the community at large just froth at the mouth. Like, after myself has acquired my first full hard copy manga collection of a series, I own all 11 volumes that currently exist. At the time of recording, I believe it's 11. If a 12th has come out, I will be buying it the moment we hit unrecord. Or stop recording, unrecord. Imagine, I think it's just delete, right? Yeah, I am all the way caught up, and I put an analogy in our Discord a while back that this show is like if Bleach and Jujutsu Kaisen had a baby, but then the paternity test comes back and Bleach finds out, it was actually Dorohedoro. Like, oh no, like it's even weirder than that. There's like this weird amalgamation of it feels and starts like Jujutsu Kaisen, but as it ages, it's like, this is really weird, like Dorohedoro shit. And it to the show's credit, it still feels really tight. It is a complete reimagining of the shonen genre in the absolute most gritty, violent way possible, but that violent never felt gratuitous. It almost feels interwoven with the stories and narratives of these tropes, and you can't get away from the violence. So that is a warning. This show is going to be like body horror and bloody as fuck, but it just, with the content, the characters, the narrative, it all works so damn well. And the pacing is incredible. I don't even think this is going to go for a very long time. Like, it might be, I want to say it feels like it's wrapping up in volume 15. It's like a tight narrative. I really hope it doesn't overstretch its boundaries, because we've seen what happens when some shonen just go beyond their reach, and they just should have ended when they should have ended. I don't know.
Well, I don't have any information about it. I just know everyone's hype, and I guess so am I.
Yep. And Mappa's got the reins on this one, and they basically have come out and said, Chainsaw Man represents a new generation of Mappa. They clearly are putting resources and talent into this. I mean, have you seen any of the trailers?
No.
Dude, it looks like every element, not just people, are rotoscoped. It's a little weird. And it's all, I almost said 2D, but the way it looks, it almost feels CGI. But then again, it's maybe
so it's 2.5G is what I'm hearing.
Maybe, but I don't even know how to pick apart the realism of the way they move.
Oh my God, it's 4G.
Oh my God, it's 4G. 4D, you mean?
No, 4G.
Oh, it's 4G?
Yes.
It's connective. It's connected.
It's synergy. It's the Internet of Things.
It's internet of its own right. Internet of chainsaws. I like it. But yeah, we jump to another absolute banger in the space. Mob Psycho 100, third season. Bones is taking it back on, which, Bones is someone who they don't go down the Mappa route in that they're churning out quantity, but somehow still quality at the expense. I don't know the state of Bones animators, working conditions, but they definitely aren't in the news as much as Mappa is. So I don't know. It seems like when they're selective or hold on to an IP, they really, really full send it. So I'm really stoked for Mob Psycho's new third season. Do you hazard to maybe make a hypothesis or a guess on where you think the story's going to go? Because it felt pretty succinct.
I honestly thought it was over. I have been hearing murmurings of this, and I'm just like, oh, people are just still talking about this stupid show. Turns out, new season, didn't know about it, and so this is frankly a surprise to me. I've never been very high on this show. I think it's pretty meh to me personally.
Interesting.
It's like a solid 8.5, 9-ish range, but nothing really particularly special about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not frothing at the mouth over this. I'll obviously watch the show. But I also thought it was definitely going to end after season 2. So this is definitely a little bit of a blindside for me personally.
So I watched one trailer of it. I know there's a couple out, and it did kind of confirm my hypothesis on where it's going. To your point, I froth. I stand for this series. It's probably top 3 ever made for me. I'm dead ass serious.
Oh my God.
Some of the best, most real character development I've ever seen in a show.
Oh my God.
The way that Mob, in the face of ultimate unbridled power, tries to deny that and go about growing himself in a more purpose-driven way of working at it. He denies what makes him a god and tries to get better at everything else.
This is in your top 3, and I'm sure Mashoko Tensei is too, right?
Mashoko's top 10.
Okay.
Top 10. No, Mob beats this out any day of the week for me. But the other part of it is that where I think this is going was validated by a trailer. It's going to lean heavily on that cult that's been building in the background that's based on him. Their symbol is the bowl cut Mob, profile. It was set up by that one chick who knew him and kind of knew a bit of his power and started to gain follower after follower and kind of pulled the opposite of a One Punch Man, is that every major save or every major thing avoided or everything supernatural, whether it was him or not, attributes it back to him. He's getting the attention that Saitama never got.
The bowl cut Messiah, huh?
The bowl cut Messiah.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, so it's going to lean there, and I think that's actually quite an interesting in the universe, because we saw in season 2 that there was a psychic entity that was essentially a folklore that everyone believed in so hard that it not just became real, but super powerful. What happens when you have a cult feeding mob power? In that same way, psychic concepts grow in power and scale the more an individual or a group of individuals believe in that thing. We have
it's kind of the concept of an anime, a lot of anime, a god has more followers, it'll be more powerful kind of thing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's a big Japanese mythology type beat
concept. Yeah. So I'm super hyped for it, but I do have a little less mystery, a little less understanding, and I'm ready for the mystery of where it goes. All I have is it's going to be the cult heavy. I don't know who'd be the main bad guy here.
It'll be Mob.
I would love to see,
and Reagan has to kill him.
Yep,
and finally in this fucking show.
Yeah, Reagan has no psychic powers. Maybe is his direct hard counter. And just no one, someone with no psychic powers basically makes Mob powerless. I don't know. But I'm hyped to see that. So that's probably going to be my stand for the White Knight of this season. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. What's that one coming up right next after that?
Depression, my friend, unfortunately.
I know.
So Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War is supposedly coming out, but I'll never know because it's going to be hidden behind Disney Plus.
Why? Why the fuck? I blame Studio Perriott for that one. That's not cool.
I don't know who's done this to me.
There must be some other higher power above the studio that owns the rights. Is it Kite or Tight Kubo or whatever?
Probably Viz Media, I would guess.
Viz Media. Okay, some entity in the pipeline here better fucking answer to the community at large, because this has been something that the shonen world at large has wanted for so long. The only big three to have finished and never get finished. We have One Piece that's still ongoing, but it's still being written. You have Naruto, who got his due diligence in...
Fuck, the website is fire for bleach.com.
Right, fucking, they're basically doing all this stuff, but, do we sail the high seas? This show is too important. This show is way too important to be in Disney jail.
Yeah, I think I will have to sail the high seas, but it bothers me immensely that they've forced me into a situation where I would have to do that. The other thing I don't know is, are they going to simulcast the dub? Because I know Johnny Young Bosch is back for it for sure.
They have all the pedigree. They have everyone on board, everyone you would want on board. I know Boruto's slowed down because basically they're nothing but filler for months at this point. If you look at that filler list, we're in a filler drought, and that's never really been a shock with Boruto, but clearly longer than others. And I think they just pulled anyone who would build a decent fight in Boruto, and they don't have Black Clover no more for now.
Black Clover no more.
Black Clover no more. For now.
That was funny phrasing.
All of their elements, all of their... Boy Howdy, it's going to be a good fucking show. And I will throw down a Boy Howdy right now because
you're over the quota, brother.
I'm over the quota. We're in a Boy Howdy surplus. But
you just threw down 3.
I know. Well, who's counting, right?
Me now.
Me now. Fair enough. But they all go to Bleach, and I am seething that I understand there's probably some immense profit for sending something to Disney jail. I understand it. They've done it with Summertime Rendering. They've done it. They realized the potency of it with Star Wars Visions. Disney's getting wise to anime as a storytelling medium, and their ability to throw billions around. I'm not saying Bleach is worth billions. I'm saying it's worth trillions. It's worth trillions because it's a golden ass series. But do you think that this jail is going to do one of the legends of shonen a disservice in gaining new fans? That's the one thing I'm worried about, is that if anyone is a new fan, I like Naruto or I like Dragon Ball Z, what else should I should watch? Oh, you should watch Bleach. And someone caught up and they're just there with us now. They want more Bleach. And we tell them, hey, you can't have it yet. It's out, but you can't have it yet. I don't know. I feel like it's ostracizing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be a situation where they're going to try to restart it in such a way to where you... obviously having watched the whole previous, you would be in a good spot, but
sure.
Maybe start it so that you can sort of, Ichigo Kurosaki, Soul, substitute Soul Reaper for the fucking Sarate, give a little introduction type deal. So because I don't exactly view Disney Plus as an extremely large anime streaming platform or
no.
have a strong anime following.
I might consider it to be the smallest of all of them.
There's
honestly.
a potential that it just popularity wise blows up if they do a decent enough job to bring in new people, because it's gonna look good. The story we know is good.
The story is insane.
So it's just going to be interesting because I think one of the things that holds Bleach back is it doesn't look great in the beginning, similar to One Piece and frankly Naruto.
Yu Yu Hakusho has a similar.
Well, actually, I think believe it or not, I think Yu Yu looks better than all 3 of those in the start.
It started better, I think, than most did, and only got better.
Yeah.
So from end of series to beginning of series, I think a lot of them follow the same trend. Yu Yu Hakusho definitely had a little bit more love in the beginning. Hunter x Hunter is a similar way. Definitely had a lot of love in the beginning for the 2011 version, at least. I don't know about the 98.
9?
Okay, fair. In the late 90s. We got it within a year. It's fine. The other thing I'm thinking, too, is that the positive that come out of this that could happen.
Well, it's definitely going to ostracize like big fans of the show.
Sure.
Because I'm certainly not buying Disney Plus for
and one. You can bum mine. I already have it.
It's just like a principle.
It's a principle thing. No.
It's fucked up.
I'm in your camp. I had it previously because I'm a Marvel nut, but like I get that. I totally understand that. So maybe a positive here is that Disney looks at the inevitable buku barrels of money coming their way from people wanting to subscribe, because they will, to Disney Plus to see it when it starts to air. Weekly, in chunks, whatever. Doesn't matter how. But will this get a conglomerate of media like Disney to finally dig their feet into the ground and admit that anime is not just a viable, like revenue to attract others to their platform, but actually something that they could use their nearly infinite amount of money to homegrown some super contract a good studio, and they did that with Star Wars Visions.
I don't know. I think
VAs.
Most things that Disney touches turns to fucking garbage. So like ESPN was fine, and then now it's like horrible.
And herein lies the problem: is that if
Marvel was fine, and now we've got Miss Marvel.
Sure.
Bad movie.
maybe they'll make peace with the idea that we don't necessarily need to be the ones putting pen to paper. Maybe we need to be the ones to give the people who put pen to paper the money.
Look, if they want to fund it, okay, but like
right there, yeah.
I don't want to be in a situation where I already pay all this money for all these other platforms, and they're like, haha, new third platform you have to also pay for, idiot.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. And I mean,
this high dive bullshit. What the fuck is that?
Okay, what I don't actually know about this. So someone in our Discord also asked, where do I watch stuff on High Dive? I recommend Verve. Verve is kind of a anime, conglomeration or an amalgamation of your other services. You can watch Funny, you can watch Crunchyroll, you can watch High Dive. They even have like Rooster Teeth and some like Cartoon Network shows on there. And I think they have some Adult Swim rights, but that's mostly on HBO now. If you were to already have, like I do, like a Funny animation, Funimation basically subscription, and then you have Crunchyroll, you can watch them all in the same spot. That doesn't really solve the problem of you having to get another thing called High Dive, but at least you can watch them all there in an at least semi-competent way. It's not as it's made by Crunchyroll, but it's like the app is infinitely better, so why don't you just fix your own app, Crunchyroll? I don't get it, but...
What are you talking about, Verve right now? You're talking about Verve right now?
I'm talking about Verve is owned and made as an app by Crunchyroll.
Which I had Verve at some point, and now for some reason I don't have Verve.
And again, it in and of itself is not a subscription service. They are just a conduit.
What a
better app.
Weird idea.
I don't know either. But it's almost as if like they knew that like Funimation's coming under the umbrella and like stuff like that. Maybe Sony had a push. I'm not really sure.
I heard that deal never went through.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, obviously, we've heard literally fucking crickets.
Yeah, actual crickets on that one. So, because I thought that was at the same time when Sony decided to eat Crunchyroll up and just like, nope, bye.
Yeah, but like
Funimation's like, fuck me. Like, what?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Maybe something cut that deal short. In any case, you want to watch High Dive stuff. Verve's not a bad way to do it, but I don't know what's exclusive to High Dive right now.
Vermeil and the Gold.
Oh, that was actually on my list of things to start.
Yeah.
Because Labor Day is a clean binging sesh for me because I got nothing to do. So I was going to hit some stuff.
Pirating the shit out of that.
High seas, my dude.
What else?
So you're saying that there are some strictly exclusives
I think we were told Made in Abyss is exclusively on High Dive for some reason.
That can't be true. I feel like I've watched a couple episodes. Maybe I did pirate because I was really upset and I did... it was...
Sorry, bitch.
Yeah, I drank a little bit and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go pirate it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I checked like 2 sites. I'm like, screw this. I'm going to just pirate it. But yeah, I guess that all was one big segue into the same concept for the next show, which was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean's second part. Again, Netflix jailed.
Right.
So...
But at least everybody has Netflix.
Right, but herein lies that weird problem is that everyone having Netflix did not just happen in a vacuum. You had to give us attractive options on why to actually go to Netflix in the first place. Hulu had a great stretch, and right now they have an original series called Little Demon with Danny DeVito as Satan. You should definitely watch it. Western cartoons, looks a little rough. Story is already pretty great. It's like Satan's a great dad, and he's helping hit the spawn of his spawn, the Antichrist, who turns out to be a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the fucking...
Actually, I watched
preview.
2 episodes. Not too bad. Like, good stuff. And so these shows are... And I hadn't touched Hulu in ages. But a show like this made me like, okay, I'll stream some stuff off Hulu. You have to have attractive options.
I do have a recommendation for a show that I just started yesterday.
Okay.
Lycoris Recoil.
Oh, is that the John Wick version of but anime style? Just like guns akimbo style shit.
But it's like little high school girls that are orphan demon lords.
I watched some videos on reviews of that.
Actually fucking lit.
Is
I'm
it
not
really?
gonna lie.
The scenes look dope as shit.
Yeah, I mean it's like this bitch can dodge bullets.
I did see her
and
shoot
murk people across the freaking world.
I did see her in one I watched a clip or two of just some of that gun food that she's got going on there. Did she shoot? It looked like rubber or some kind of bullet. Did she shoot all the way through a car door with rubber bullets? I think I saw a scene of her pop, 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 pop with the same rubber bullet, then turn it on a guy and it just goes.
I want to say there was holes already in the door because the other girl was shooting at him.
And she shot through the pre-made holes.
She is
sick.
Unreal.
If that's the truth,
she taught John Wick.
She's taught John Wick?
No, she taught John Wick.
Oh my God.
She's John Wick's mommy.
Mrs. Wick. Great to have you back. How's your grandma?
Chisato Wick. What's up? No, but
definitely it's
borderline. I was concerned at first because I thought it was just going to be some weird, terrible show. Turns out
lolly gun
pretty
fu.
good.
Yeah.
Not really lolly at all either. It's just
okay, sick. Because I think it was definitely I'm looking back at summer. Yeah, it is in there. It's just kind of just hidden at the bottom.
Right.
It's just this no-namer.
Well, it's got a full 5 stars on Crunchyroll right now.
Fuck. Okay, definitely put it on the Labor Day list. I need to, and I can watch that on, I'm assuming, exclusively High Dive.
On Crunchyroll.
Yeah, we used humor to prism tragedy. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. But yeah, back to JoJo's. I mean, David Production obviously does all the JoJo stuff. They do a pretty fantastic job of the aesthetic. We haven't talked about it in a while. Do you remember kind of how you felt about part 1? I had my notes on it.
Yeah, it was incomplete.
It wasn't complete. We had notes that we didn't really know where it was going. But I had higher marks than other JoJos in the past because I think JoJo operates best when it's in a confined space, forcing very kind of tight, narrow fighting scenarios for the stand users.
I just wanted a freaking prison break anime. That's all I wanted.
I think that might be part 2. What's going on with
my
you?
back
over here?
hurts, so I'm just gonna do some weird stuff.
You're actually managing to starfish, but vertically, which is incredible. Only for video viewers will see this absolute peak athleticism.
Yeah, which
right now.
we've got. We're back on that. We've made it easier for ourselves. We're just using my phone now, so we're getting one big ass video clip.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't know we had to. It was chopped up into 4 or 5 videos. We had to line them up, make sure everything was good,
and it was a harassing and a harrowing experience to try to get videos out previously.
Yeah, but we have streamlined that process for you
via buying a very expensive phone.
Absolutely. So yeah, JoJo's. I think the first part of that season 6 was good. I think Jolene is quite a fun JoJo character as a main.
Do you think they're gonna put that Dolly Parton song in it?
They're gonna put a Dolly Parton song in it?
Do you think?
Fucking better.
Jolene.
If they pull the rights for that, then best show ever. Fuck.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fire.
Dolly Parton is a freaking treasure.
That would be fire.
We got our first new one on the list, which is kind of interesting. The Eminence in Shadow.
Yeah, so by new one, you mean obviously Chainsaw Man was new, so...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, new one to me. So we got our second one that is new on the list that isn't a sequel. Quick synopsis read. All caps, one big fat lie and a few twisted truths. That was a lot. Even in a past life, Sid's dream wasn't to become a protagonist or final boss. He'd rather lie low as a minor character until his prime time reveal he's a mastermind, or at least do the next best thing. Pretend to be one. And now that he has been reborn in another world, he is ready to set the perfect conditions to live out his dream to the fullest. Armed with his overactive imagination, Sid jokingly recruits members to his organization and makes up a whole backstory about his evil cult that they need to take down. Well, as luck would have it, these imaginary adversaries turn out to be the real deal, and everyone knows the truth but him.
Okay, so here's how I view it. I view it as literally Steins Gate, but real.
Right, hold on. But
Steins Gate in another world.
A little bit from the fact that, a conspiracy theorist is proven right. I think the element here is that
the frogs are gay.
Oh my God, but everyone knows it but him, but he thinks it's a lie. So, shit, I mean, there may be some comedy to be had here. I kind of like the setup a bit. I was a bit
thoughts
soft.
on steel beams being melted by jet fuel?
If it's real, I don't know it. But I'll keep pretending like it is. The idea here is kind of interesting, but I don't know if it has legs further than a single season.
Birds.
Right?
Birds. Fake? Real?
Oh, absolutely real.
Oh.
Wait, are they not? If only you had some kind of
birdsaren'treal.com.
really weird website you can show me that's like a manifesto of a madman. So basically what it is. So I think
it's kind of weird. Action, comedy, fantasy, isekai. Harem's not mentioned, but there is a bevy of females in the poster here.
And man, they look cookie cutter as shit.
I almost think it's gonna be like Steins Gate as far as the conspiracy weird part. And maybe him the way he acts, but then also add Konosuba to the top of it. That's how I'm feeling.
I can see that here. And the thing I'm getting from this as well, it feels less conspiracy and more like he is lying to reinvent himself in another world. And it turns out the lies he tells to swoon or persuade others to help him in his quote unquote cause. He's like, these little idiots don't know I'm fucking lying to him. And everyone's like, this guy's on the up and up because
he totally knows.
The one black box thing we have to then for this show off the rip be okay with is the astronomical odds it would be for him to just be right about every fucking detail in his lie. There's no way he can just pull that out of his ass and it just be correct. The absolute lunacy of that needs to just be accepted. That's the one thing I'll have to accept in that show. And if there's more contrivances, then it's already going to be it's fucking mid. I don't know what you want from me. That's how I see it.
There's some real bad shows that later on we gotta get there.
All right, we'll get there. But this one's pretty cool. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 3.
Sorry, quickly go back. I will be watching Eminence in the Shadow just to give it a shot.
Okay. I mean, me too. I mean, but that's the thing. It's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, not 5 because it's in fucking Disney jail. 5 and 6. That's an hour and a half already a week, maybe more.
Well, JoJo's gonna be in jail too, so who gives a fuck?
Fucking.
Actually, it says 2 days.
Yeah. I think it's dropping soon because it basically was airing this past season and it's now out of jail in 2 days.
Okay, well shit. Well, that'll be done in 5 minutes anyhow.
Shit, there you go. But yeah.
That'll be done by Thursday. Maybe that's next week's episode.
Maybe that's it. But
by God.
Sorry. Just absolute interruptatron over here.
Yep.
Mr. Ethan Bot. As I was saying, welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 3. This time, it's the jungle. That was literally from the synopsis. That's all I want to hear. That's fine. I'm so in for this. We've talked up and down about how much we love Iruma-kun, a show that shouldn't work, but by God, it does. I almost said that the BH words again.
Oh my God, they killed him.
Oh my God.
The only concern I have is our girl is not in the poster for this season.
Yes, worrying.
Where Amari?
Worrying. Where is Amari? If there is no Amari, instant 5 out of 10.
Amari where? Though I will say he's got a really sick fucking bow in this pic, so this is gonna be interesting.
And does he have camo on? Is that camo?
does have Blue Tiger camo from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say that cannot be. Maybe it's a demon tiger. I don't know. God, I'm excited for that too, man. But all right, into more of the obscure, but we do have another sequel. To Your Eternity Season 2.
A lot of people liked it.
I liked it.
I personally was not a fan.
It's very high-minded. Shonen is a bit of a stretch.
You just calling me stupid?
I'm not
high-minded.
I'm not. Well, you're smart enough to pick out the implications of what I just said, so I wouldn't call you a complete idiot. But,
okay, fair.
But I say high-minded not because it's high wrinkles. It's just like trying to be high art.
You can tell because it's watercolor as the poster.
Yeah, it's trying to be high art, but it's not. It doesn't require a lot of wrinkles.
High art, more like high fart.
Oh my God, you just wrecked him, dude.
Get fucked.
Oh, dude, did you see the news over here? They just said it was canceled.
They're crying.
They just canceled the whole season.
It's crying on the timeline.
They already made it. It's not like they lose any money. They just didn't. They're not going to air it anymore.
Just like refuse to release it.
What have you done? What have you done? Yeah, there's not much to say about it. I mean, if you like the first season, you're gonna like the second one. It is a niche audience that likes to smoke a pipe and like, oh yes, the things the authors were trying to say is so profound. I'm like, shut up. No, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of good to it. I really enjoyed it, but don't get on your high horse because you think that schmucks can't watch it because they just wouldn't get it. People get it, they just don't like it.
Boring.
Yeah. Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out Season 2. This lit up the internet because it was big, tiny, big opie like girl, and it's kind of a comedy thing. I gave a little bit in Season 1.
No way.
I did about 4 episodes. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. Look, we're trying to expand it into slice of life, dude. We're trying to expand it into romance.
Don't say we as if I wasn't already watching stuff.
And yet you aren't watching Uzaki-Chan.
Well, I don't like just like big titties for the sake of big titties.
It is big titties for the sake of big titties.
Show.
It's the entire show.
And I don't think that's enough.
There is some depth to it, but I mean, it's like, no. Even the first 4 episodes, I'm like, I can see where they're trying to go with that, but it's not enough to outweigh this stuff. It's no romances we have put our eyes against. So yeah, just not there. Some of the newer ones.
This one looks so bad.
Reincarnated as a sword.
Sounds like a really fucking bad show.
The studio putting it on is C2C, and they did Moonlit Fantasy. Why am
Which
I
is
not
a great
fucking
show,
surprised?
Though. That's a good
Why
show.
Why am I not fucking surprised?
I don't know why you aren't. I'm surprised. That was a great show.
Some isekai protagonists are reincarnated as powerful weapons or skilled wizards, powerful warriors and skilled wizards. But our protagonist was reborn in another life as a sentient sword, so Excalibur, essentially. Fools. He is taken up by Fran, a desperate girl fleeing evildoers intent on selling her into slavery. Hold on. Time the fuck out. What is with every fucking isekai seeming to want to play the slavery angle here now? Is it Rise of the Shield Hero's fault?
It's also like odd. It's like always demi-humans too.
Yeah, right. And I didn't even notice. She's a fucking demi-human.
Like a fox girl or something.
Here we are. She's a
Tanuki.
A Kikimori. There's a word.
She's not a Hikikimori.
No. What's the word? There's a word for cat girl. Essentially, there's a word for cat girl.
Neko?
Cat girl anime. And I feel like I should know this.
It's not a tanuki, like I said.
A tanuki is
like a weird squirrelish thing.
Kimono Mimi. A Kimono Mimi is a female character with feline traits such as cat ears, a cat tail, or other feline traits.
All
like
right,
paws.
never heard of that shit.
I've heard of it before. Kimono Mimi.
All right, I think it's gonna be horrible. I'm not even interested in continuing to talk about it. It's a light novel, so it's probably got some sexy stuff in it.
Yeah, it's taken on by the people who did Moonlit Fantasy, so I'm not gonna watch it there.
I certainly would watch a season 2 of Moonlit Fantasy, especially if they wanted to go a little spicier.
A little spicier.
Anyhow, so I think the next show is one that I've been considering watching recently.
Okay.
So it'll be season 2 of Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, which is, we talked about it last, I don't know, whenever the hell it was coming out. It's action, fantasy, sci-fi, seinen, supernatural, but it looks kind of good.
Okay.
I never watched it, but it's got a 7.37.
Let me hit with the synopsis because I think it's important here because of what I've heard, I've watched reviews of. I know I shouldn't be using that and experiencing it for myself, but it definitely dropped it lower on the list. And maybe it can be a tie over into the fall season. But one day, unremarkable college student Yuhi Amamiya mistakes a talking lizard who asks him for help saving Earth from a crisis. Before he can refuse, Yui's turned into the member of the Beast Knights and given a ring that gives him the psychic power Domain Control. He is then immediately attacked by an enemy, but just as all seems lost, he is saved by the girl next door, Samidare. Turns out, Samidare isn't really a savior of any kind. She's actually a demon lord who wants to conquer Earth. Drawn to her absurd strength and evil charms, Yui becomes her devoted servant and acts to support her wicked schemes. Now, I am told and read and watched that the manga this is based off of is ostensibly one of the most well-written kind of things that is out right now in this category. But the adaptation has been so unbelievably trash that everyone hates it. I mean, It Invaded was by the same people, Infinite Dendrogram by these people, and I don't think either of those visuals looked entirely terrible. But
both of those were good.
Yeah, It Invaded is fucking. It was this like mind-melting, interesting visual feast. But this Naz Anime, NAZ, the studio, I don't know. Apparently, they flubbed it that hard where you're like, this animation is like so dog shit, even for like the non-anime snob. I don't know.
That makes me cry.
Yeah, I mean, it might be something I watched the first season of. Can the story itself carry? Not sure, but a lot of higher basement dwellers than I am have definitely said otherwise. So,
well, maybe that's because they dwell in basements.
Maybe they dwell in basements, but
I mean, there's black mold down there.
There's a lot of mold down there. You breathe that, you're gonna have wild opinions.
It's gonna be like that show, Archive, whatever.
Archive, whatever,
81, with the mold that fucks you up.
Oh, Archive 81.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Didn't I say that?
Something like it. So we have the next one, Blue Lock, which is going to be, I think, this season's serving of sports shonen anime.
So I heard it's actually fucking sick.
The poster and the visuals look great.
But I'm not a soccer guy, so kind of tough for me.
Counterpoint, I wasn't a volleyball guy before Haikyuu. I would argue I'm not a volleyball guy now.
I'm still not a volleyball guy.
And yet, Haikyuu has been celebrated up and down on our show, so willing to give it a shot. Basically, after defeat 2018 World Cup, Japan's team struggles to regroup. What's missing? They need an ace striker who can guide them to the win. And they're basically hell-bent on creating a striker who can hungers for goals and thirsts for victory. All right, let's calm it down real quick, 8-bit. Like, let's chill out just for a moment. But
he eats ass and kicks grass, and he's all out of grass.
Because he kicked it too hard. He's already won the day. There's only one thing left to do. Eat ass. But yeah, it looks like it's basically going to be like a, I wouldn't even call it, maybe an underdog in a world stage. Because the disastrous defeat, they're on the rebuilding period of their team.
You know what? I'll watch it.
I haven't had a good sports anime in a while.
Yeah, and then that'll be my my public service for the season. I'll watch that.
If it means anything to you.
So the next show...
Hold on. 8-bit.
We don't have infinite time, my guy.
But we have infinite opinions. And
that's fair.
The studio did do The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So their quality's up and up. I'm here for that. The studio's got pedigree.
Also a regular at Magic High School.
Did you care for that?
Oh, I care, all right.
Oh, I have some care.
And Fruit of Grisea. Oh my god.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
That's the one that was like really fucked up that I talked about in the
anime. You did.
Oh yes,
you did. Oh, that is fucked. Okay.
Tokyo Ravens. Yo, these guys popped the fuck off.
Oh, now you're interested in 8-bit. Now that I pointed that out, Mr. Infinite Time over here.
Well, that's your fault, not mine.
It is my fault. I'll freely admit.
So this one looks absolutely atrocious, but I'm obviously gonna watch it because these types of shows, man. I've somehow gotten stronger when I improve my farm-related skills.
This is your trash alley, dude.
Oh,
this is very your thing, where it's like he does. But I like the idea that like the first sentence is great. Yeah, is it Al?
I would guess
Al Wayne loves farming, and we don't mean the video game sim. Fuck yeah. Just get away from the video game sim. He wants to be a literal farmer, but in the process of improving his agriculture skills, he somehow winds up maxing out his overall character stats. All right. Okay. All right. I'm a little more on board than your typical pharmacy, slice of life isekai bullshit. This looks
I think
interesting.
It's going to be very typical.
It's going to be high fantasy. It's going to be action packed. He's just going to be like some schmuck that's just from.
I think it's going to be like.
And it's not isekai. And so he's just like, there he is.
Boy from the last dungeon is in the starter town. I think that's what it's going to be like, where he's just like naturally unbelievably overpowered, but he doesn't want to, like, he doesn't think he is or care.
It could be even Cautious Hero, like something like that. No, maybe it won't have that vibe because he'll know he's going to be.
Nah, you haven't watched the show I talked about. I think it's going to be absolutely right up that alley.
Fair enough.
This one's weird as fuck. More than a married couple, but not lovers. Evidently, they get paired off. Like every student in this school gets paired off, and then has to do this marital class. Where you have to like gain points by like going through different parts of marriage. Like it says like first kiss, like living together as like a pseudo pair. It's very, very odd. And for you never guess, but they do end up falling in love with each other.
Whoa, crazy.
It's similar to like well, I mean, this is not a good comparison, but in like Nisekoi, they pretend to be in a relationship and then they end up liking each other. Wow. And then cuckoo, whatever the fuck.
A couple of cuckoos?
Yeah. Cuckoos.
A couple of cuckoos.
But it's comedy, drama, romance, school, seinen. I'm thinking seinen has to mean that it's like a little spicier. Now, clicking on Studio Mother, they do Ari Ferretta, so I'm thinking sure there will be some sexual.
So here's something I find interesting. They did Ari Ferretta. Season 2. They didn't do season 1. They looked at Ari Ferretta and said,
we want that.
That looks good. Our decision-making skills are clearly on display here, so we're going to take on this one as a season 2. Yeesh, man. I don't know. This is maybe up their alley, dude. They look like a young studio, too, so I don't know. What else do we got in this list? There's probably so much in here. But
the only one that semi-interests me is called Shinobi no Itoki. It is by Troika, which I've never heard of. It's action. It says, Itoki Sakurabe was an ordinary student until his life was turned upside down. He finds out that he is a 19th heir of the famous Iga ninjas. The Iga must try to defend what is theirs from the Koga, a rivaling clan seeking to end Itoki's life with their bug Pokemon. Itoki is left with no choice but to become a shinobi that's strong enough not only to protect himself but also his village. It kind of, to me, feels like a little bit like Reborn, which you never watched, but it's way up that alley.
I keep telling you, I watched like a good chunk of that show.
Yeah, you never touched it.
Oh yeah, never in a million years.
Never even looked at it.
So yeah, this looks a bit generic, but I do know the studio because I did watch Recreators,
but I like generic. Damn it!
You do weirdly like generic, but I think.
Oh, I watched Alden Noah Zero actually, so maybe really? I have seen this.
I don't even heard of Alden Noah Zero. In any case, here's to it. I mean, if it looks at least well enough done. The studio's done some shit before. I'm interested for it. And we have Golden Kamui's 4th season.
Yeah, I couldn't finish season 1.
I finished season 1. Yeah.
I couldn't, man.
It's okay.
It's not good.
We got new Gundam on I'm not really I'm kind of just falling out from the list format, but we got Futo Pai, which is an action drama mystery police seinen supernatural. This had a first season in summer 2022. It looks like it's going to continue. But that one did look a little interesting. That one I did kind of put aside for some other stuff, but if it gets a little more hype, I might go ahead and reapproach. It only has a 7.76, but I mean, what are you gonna do with that?
Encouragement of climb next summit.
Where do you see that?
It's farther down.
How far are we going? Oh shit!
I like climbing, so maybe I'll watch it.
It's a climbing anime?
It literally says next summit. Encouragement of climb, and they're all on the top of a mountain. I mean, like, what the fuck do you want from me, man?
I want a little more info.
By 8-bit.
I want a little bit more. Oh, wait. There's no synopsis on that.
I know.
Oh, God. But it is 8-bit, so I'll give it a little bit of a try.
A little bit of a try.
A little bit of a try.
What else is on here? Nothing interesting?
I mean, nothing that jumps out to me. This season is going to be the tale of the sequels. It's going to be the big boys are the ones that have already made absolute stakes here, and it looks like a lot of them are going to deliver. So that's where my mind's going to be. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of news in this season for me. I'm already staring at 7-ish shows that have come back that I think I will rather put my attention on. What is the outside of Chainsaw Man, because that's kind of a given for me. I don't know if it's a given for you.
I think I'm going to call it Chainsaw Woman.
Oh, Chainsaw Woman.
Just for some equality.
Fair enough. You know what? Quality's all good. But I'm going to go Chainsaw Man to balance things out. How's that?
Okay, yeah.
Chainsaw person.
Well, how about just Chainsaw? Why do we have to give it a gender?
Why don't we just go Chainsaw? Yeah. Chainsaw is this pronoun.
Yeah.
Chainsaw does this, Chainsaw does that.
Yeah.
Respect it, man.
Yeah.
Everyone respect it. Yeah. Whatever.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah. So I think of all the new ones, it might be Blue Lock for me.
What the fuck was that? Out of left field.
Well, I was saying, besides Chainsaw Man, it's an obvious given. What had we talked about that's new? Not a return, not a sequel that you think you jump on. The Eminence in Shadow, maybe.
I'm going to be watching that as long as it's not hidden under some dumb fucking, I don't know, like.
Yeah, jail of some sort.
Yeah,
streamer
or like
jail.
Just some random fucking streaming platform.
Sure.
Uncle Rico's
Uncle Rico's Anime Shack. Come on down.
Come on down to the Anime Shack.
You give me a link and I'll give you some shapes. I'll give you some stories.
Down here, Roy Rogers Boot Supply.
I don't actually show you the anime. I just act it out weekly and I play all the characters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And try to do all the flips in the backyard.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind and rewind on a streaming platform. This is all VHS.
Yes.
That's how I'm going to mail you VHSs. So that's how it's going to be. But yeah, Blue Lock. I think that honestly is the one I would...
I'll watch it just because we made that really large declaration that was going to be our...
Yeah, that's...
Our entreaties to the humans out there.
That's my dark horse.
But I will be watching Eminence in the darkness.
Yeah. So, trash... Reincarnated the Sword, it's got to be the trash.
Oh, that's going to be it's so bad that I won't even watch it. Like, there's a limit of badness to where, like, I'll for sure watch it, and it just far surpasses that.
Maybe we're wrong, and it just becomes, like, this super hot new genre of, like, Weapon Sky or whatever.
But I can't, like... Well, first of all, there's that Cannon Buster show or whatever where he's, like, Gunhead.
Oh, it's literally called Gunhead, I think.
Okay, horrible.
Yeah.
So, like... I'm not a weapon human thing. Like, I don't like that shit.
Didn't you just, weapons
as
sentient weapons kind of thing. You better be Excalibur or nothing else.
I mean, even Excalibur, I don't think a show about exclusively Excalibur would be good.
That's actually fair.
Right? Like, I need my character to have some sort of agency, and if you're just like a weapon, like, I think they're really, really relying on Catgirl in this show. I must be honest.
Which to me implies a filthy cash grab. Just filthy merch grab.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, sneaky show. I think borderline might be okay. I haven't actually watched it. I watched one of those anime recaps on it, though.
Fair enough.
The Uncle from Another World. Did you see that?
Yes. Okay, I've been hearing people actually talk about that.
Good.
I think the synopsis of that is that he's like a full-fledged isekai champion that gets reincarnated back. Deincarnated back into the real world, and he has de-isekai'd, and he has all of his knowledge, a lot of his magical gifts, and basically he wakes up from a coma, and now he's trying to re-navigate a world he's left 30 years ago.
And he becomes a YouTuber.
And he goes a YouTube streamer, dude. That's amazing to me. It's just like, but if you had superpowers, it's probably one of the first real-world applications I'd use. If the world already knows I have superpowers, I would start a channel called Power Play, and I would just basically just start using my powers weekly and take.
I don't know. I think you should name it Uncle Rico's
Uncle
Anime
Rico's
Shack.
Powered Anime Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Rico's Anime Shack. I now have powers to be all your favorite characters.
Yeah.
How's that? Believe it. You have to subscribe for more. But you know what? That's the next season. It's looking super hype. It's action packed for sure. This is going to be a shonen smorgasbord of just visual and good like feasts for younger and much older IPs. And I am absolutely here for this next season. We'll lose a lot of time on the weekly.
Definitely a lot of sleep will be lost.
A lot of sleep. But thanks, y'all, for coming to class. The future is looking very bright for this fall 2022 season. If you'd like to listen to any of our past recaps or precaps of these seasons that have already passed to see if we were right, wrong, or wildly off base,
or indifferent
and totally missed it, you know, we're only 2 clicks away. You're already on the platform, guys. Just go over and hit all of our 170 plus episodes. If you want to give us some monetary love, only if you can, $1 and up on patreon.com/weebology gets you into our Discord with all of our past guests and the lovely Patreon folk. We have just been gearing up for the fall 2022 season, talking about what maybe made this season a little lackluster. If you have different opinions, come on in. We'd love to hear them. $3 and up gets you the syllabus sidebar, the lo-fi, high vibes, sometimes anime, sometimes not, sometimes visual, and sometimes on hiatus show where we talk about life and things that would not make it to this particular podcast, and some other game shows we have as well if you want to go see us play those. And we're making up on the spot. Well, they were so good the first time we did it that they were like mainstays, which is great. Yeah, like the price
is wrong, bitch.
Wrong, bitch. It's great. That's a fun one. So go check that out there if you care to do so. You know, give us a little shout. We have a couple platforms. You know, weebology.podcasts. Is that the Instagram one? We don't plug it often.
I was like,
at
what are you doing right now?
Yeah, you know, Twitter at weebologyp and the Gmail weebologypodcast@gmail.com. And
we will respond via email.
We will read it. We will respond to it, and we will say hi and thank you for listening. And we have a viewer suggestion list that we shrunk a bit. But we haven't gotten a lot of suggestions since, so there's still a couple to hit. But if you want to add to that list, we are open to any suggestions. May even be a worst of week.
Open to suggestions.
We're open to suggestions, and we'll watch it and maybe clown on you if it's a real bad one.
I said open. I didn't say we're doing it for sure.
No, we're not for sure, but they will 100% add it to the list.
There you go.
Yes. But I think that's about it. I am going to try to calm myself down after all this hype, man. This season's got me all buzzing.
Yeah, it's juicing us.
It's juicing up. But until I can go pure Zen mode and release this kind of hype into the ether, I'm Ricky.
And I'm Ethan.
And this has been Weebology.
Deuces.
And it releases energy. I'm like a nuclear fusion reactor of hype.
Kind of like a spirit bomb of myself.
I can't even release it all, man. Give me your power, dude.